Let's talk about Blizzard's content strategy for Overwatch. Yes, content. Dude, I swear this is considered content in some universe, just stick with me here, okay? So for anyone who has not seen the latest developer update yet, let me try to summarize the most important points because they're actually hugely relevant to our topic today.
Welcome everyone to today's developer update. I'm Jeff from the Overwatch team. We have a big patch happening and there's a lot of cool content in this patch. To unlock a really cool skin, replays. There are some minor balance changes. I'm not going to go into those today. We also have changes coming to the assault mode. We're going to run a competitive free-for-all deathmatch season. A lot of really cool content coming. It should be a really fun patch. Thanks.
Okay, so at first glance, especially if you are a heavily invested competitive player or even just a core gamer who really cares about Overwatch in general, this might sound very disappointing to you. But why does it? Well, we are all painfully aware of all the community backlash that has followed many decisions Blizzard has made in the past few years. And as such, our expectations have skyrocketed. Demands to quote-unquote fix the game are pretty much omnipresent, and every new patch that does not address the core issues of competitive play will be met with a lot of skepticism and disappointment. And yet, despite being disappointed myself, I believe that this patch is actually very significant. Yes, they essentially gave McCree what is the equivalent of hit-scan storm arrows with no cooldown, and who actually wanted Orisa to have an even higher shield uptime than she already does. But competitive balance aside, oh my god, and Sombra, don't even get me started on Sombra. Anyway, this patch has arrived at a really good time for the game. And I'm gonna say something rather controversial and probably a little overly optimistic here, but 2019, in my eyes, is the year of redemption for Overwatch. If we wanted to be really pessimistic about it, we could point at all these new features coming to the game and say that they should have been implemented a long time ago. But reality is that they haven't. I get it, we are all pissed off because of how long it takes Blizzard to update the game according to our expectation. But just like I've said in my last video, one way of avoiding unnecessary frustration and anger for me is by judging the game for what it is rather than for what I want it to be. Yes, I would have liked to have the functionality of the workshop at the very beginning of the custom games feature launching, but it didn't happen like that. Even if the feature is coming late, it's still a really cool piece of content coming to the game. And I say that because I want to say the same thing about the replay feature. Assuming you guys enjoy consuming a variety of Overwatch content, this new tool is actually very significant. Not only does it allow for really cool slow motion montages, but it also improves the quality of coaching formats and even allows anyone to review their own gameplay without needing to tank their frame rate by using some kind of recording software. But let's be real here, the extent to which most of us are gonna use it is probably gonna cap out at confirming that somebody was either cheating or throwing. So yes, calling the replay feature content might be a bit of a stretch. But what about everything else that Jeff talked about? The reunion challenge. If skins are content, then yes, we have been given one content. Yep, one single content. Okay, mocking aside, I still don't like the fact that they're trying to sell us lore as story when the actual story arc of Overwatch at launch has still not moved forward more than a couple inches. And it also annoys me that we cannot see any of that happening in the game itself. The event is asking us to play the game just like we always have to acquire some cosmetics, and yes, there may be only one skin, but there's also a bunch of other stuff, so it's actually more than one content. As much as it is a glorified advertisement for a comic that you have to go out of your way to see outside the game, given how long it takes to create story missions along the lines of the Archives event, for anyone who's really invested in the IP, this is still some nice flavor added to the game. And hey, it beats the usual lack of progression that we have in the game, right? Reliably working towards some kind of reward is still better than getting nothing at all. But what I really want to highlight here is the timing of this micro event. Much like Diva's and Anna's micro events, the reunion challenge has dropped to bridge the gap between two major events. It's not a full-blown seasonal event like Archives, but it does its job in making the game feel fresh. So if Blizzard would start getting into a habit of bridging downtime just like this, then I don't think a lot of people would complain about that. We get some lore that I'm sure is pleasing a lot of people invested in the IP, and new specialized cosmetics that are actually only available for a limited time, adding to the sense of urgency. Now, I am still very skeptical about the upcoming Summer Games event being hugely different from last year's, despite the devs promising it will be, because the last time I heard something like this, I was left very disappointed. Anyone remember when they said they added replayability to Archives missions? yeah, that was a nice joke right there, Mr. Blizzard. However, they might very well be trying to set a new precedent for their content strategy. I think the community has been vocal enough about repeating events with new skins not being good enough to keep us coming back for long. I would imagine that their sales numbers are reflecting that. After all, as time goes on, the player base is going to thin out, veteran players have enough currency to never spend a dime on loot boxes, and considering how hit or miss the cosmetics are, one has to wonder if that makes them worried about bringing change to the game. So here's me trying to paint you the bigger picture. The workshop was a massive step towards giving control of the game to the community, for us to finally be able to truly customize our experience and play the way we choose to. We have also had more than one leak when it comes to Blizzard's investment in competitive change. They are actively pursuing the idea of a 2-2-2 role enforcement, however that is going to look at the end to add consistency to the competitive experience. They are vouching for new content in the upcoming seasonal event, and they have brought a micro event to bridge the gap until that one comes around. They have already tested the waters with micro events and seemingly deemed them worthwhile, meaning we should be expecting to see more of them. And I have not even mentioned Competitive FFA. Now, I know that many ladder players really don't care about this game mode, but as somebody who spends a lot of his time on the forums, trust me when I say that people actually love it. In fact, there was a backlash that demanded the return of FFA in favor of ditching the new Hero Gauntlet mode, because even though it was a popular workshop mode, players just really want to play FFA. As a matter of fact, mini-competitive modes are actually a very healthy addition to the competitive ecosystem of Overwatch. Most of the truly invested ranked players don't care one way or another about getting even more golden guns. So giving more options to obtain them for players who only queue on rank to get them, while inherently not caring about the competition, is a good thing. As long as the arcade is featuring some competitive game mode that allows players to farm golden guns, chances are that they won't be joining the competitive ladder just to get the same rewards. This micro event might seem very insignificant to a lot of you, but in the grand scheme of things, a new content strategy including more micro events and more competitive game modes can actually have a hugely positive impact on the game and its community. That is, assuming that Blizzard is actually trying to set a new precedent. But what is really going to seal the deal is the upcoming Summer Games event. I've been giving them a lot of credit in this video, and as I said in the beginning, this is me being very optimistic about the future based on what I believe to be a strong first half of the year. Now here's hoping that Jeff and the Overwatch team don't end up disappointing me. But this is already everything I wanted to cover in today's video, talking about the Reunion Challenge and beyond. As always, my friends, leave your own thoughts about the subject in question down in the comment section below. While you're down there, don't forget to drop me a like on your way out if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and I hope to see you guys next time.